Hello and welcome to the Work It series, Own It. Today we're going to be talking about maximizing internships and developing business communication. So all about how to be professional in your internship. That's kind of one of those career or business keywords that we say all the time, but we never actually define, is that professionalism. So we're going to be talking about that today. Before we get into that, I want to talk to you all and let you know of who I am and what I do and why we matter for you. So my name is John Folger. I am one of the career advisors. I'm the senior career advisor for Dornsife Career Pathways. We work with Dornsife students particularly. We are very much like the Central Career Center, but we work specifically with Dornsife students. And when I mean work with, I mean we are doing one-on-one career advising appointments. We have a podcast, which I host. We have employer opportunities, so employers that come to campus. We have a mentorship program. We have so many things. And so how you find us is Handshake. Handshake is going to be your number one stop for all of this stuff, for the events that are coming up, the resources that we have. Also, you can go to our website, dornsife.usc.edu career pathways. If you just Google Dornsife career pathways, we will also be the first thing that pops up there. So that's who we are. That's what we do. You can also follow us on Instagram. This is kind of our social media presence for our office. Here's the QR code, so you can take it with your phone. Or you can just find us at USC Dornsife CP on Instagram. I recommend following us on Instagram because we post a lot of our events. We post career tips. We have a lot of kind of information kind of being shuffled through our Instagram page. So I know you guys have a lot of social media that you probably follow, a lot of things going on, but I do recommend following our Instagram page, even if it's just kind of the random posts that you see. We have posted internship opportunities in the past. It is a fantastic resource. So this is a really good resource for you guys. Now, let's get into our agenda. Number one, part one, you want to make a first good impression. So we're going to be talking about what sort of impression you set, how do you set that good impression when it comes to jobs and internships. Next, we're going to be talking about maximizing your time as an intern, all of the things you need to know as an intern. And then finally, we'll finish up with business etiquette and communication. So how to communicate in that quote unquote professionally again. We're going to be defining professionalism, what we mean by that. So, starting your internship strong. You are not expected to know everything on your first day. That is the purpose of your internship. Your purpose of your internship is to learn. Your employer does not expect you to know everything from the get-go. In fact, a lot of internship places don't want you to have prior knowledge because they want to teach you their methods, their policies, and how they do things. So I fully recognize as a human being myself and somebody who struggles with this, that it is very, very scary being in a new situation, a new position where you want to be putting your best foot forward and you want to come in hitting the ground running. But it's okay to not know 100% what you're doing. It's okay to ask questions. We'll be going into that further in just a second. Really, what you need is to show up on time, be consistent on time, and be willing to learn. Show that you are active and wanting this position and you want to learn. Those are the main things you need to know before starting your internship, is that it's okay not to know things. It's okay to kind of move forward at your own pace as needed. So, in starting your internship strong, bring something with you to take notes. It is going to be very, very overwhelming at the beginning of your job or your internship. There's going to be a ton of information thrown at you in training, whether or not you have prior experience in that field. It's going to be new. So having something to take notes. Be aware that the schedule you're going to have to follow, so kind of this bullet point of bring snacks with you, it's a larger issue of know that the schedule that you're going to now be following is going to be different from your kind of natural rhythm. And it's going to take you a little bit of time to learn that natural rhythm. And so if it takes a little bit of time, that's fine. But you also need to be taking care of yourself. You need to be making sure you are eating enough, drinking enough, doing all those things that will keep you happy, healthy, and able to do the job. At the end of the day, that's what your employer wants you to be able to do, right? Is do the thing that they are hiring you for the internship or the job to do. Also, ask questions, especially in the first like week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Ask questions. If you are in an internship, ask questions the entire time. That's what they are expecting you to do. That is the purpose. That is your main job as an intern, is asking questions, asking what they expect you to do, asking how to do things. It is better to ask a question of, I'm not sure how to do this, than do it and then somebody else having to go in and fix your work. I promise you, they're going to care much less about you asking maybe a quote unquote silly or dumb question than them having to fix a mistake further down the road. So please, please, please ask questions. They expect it of you. You want to be doing that. After your first week, and really throughout your internship or working experience, I highly recommend you're taking notes and you are kind of creating a future resume. You're creating those resume bullet points of what did I do in this position? What am I doing? What were my tasks? What were my responsibilities? Really, we start after the first week. So you're reflecting, what have you done so far? What would you like to learn by the end of your internship? What do you understand about your job responsibilities? What do you not understand after your first week? What are things you liked? What are things you didn't like? Really taking the time to reflect, doing the self-assessment, understanding what you're doing and what is important to you throughout your internship or your job experience is going to be huge. But after this first week, that is the time to really start. So I really, really recommend kind of keeping maybe not a straight up journal. You can keep a straight up journal. You don't have to, but keeping some sort of record so that you're not trying to reflect at the end of your internship when you're trying to mash everything together, when you're trying to put in that new experience on your resume and put it together. You've been building that resume bullet point list the entire time. So you really want to be spending time reflecting, saying, what am I liking? What am I not liking? How can I improve? Because that's at the end of the day what everyone is looking for. They're asking for improvement, little increments day by day. So you are going to be doing, quote unquote, your job by slowly improving day by day. As your internship continues, we'll cover some additional tips coming up soon. But number one, be on time. That is something that I cannot stress enough. Be on time. That is professional. If you are not going to be on time, if you're going to be late, or you are sick, or you are going to be out, tell your manager. Communicate that. You need to let them know where you're going to be, depending, especially when if you are gone, somebody's going to have to pick up your slack, which is fine. It's fine to be gone. It is okay to be late. It's not okay to be late every single day, but if you have something going on, if you are sick, if your tire is flat, if the train is running slow, or even if you just kind of woke up late one day, that's okay for those kind of rare instances, but you need to notify somebody. We're going to be talking about those kind of business communications later on, but that's a big theme is be on time. If you're not, let somebody know. Be willing to learn. We're going to be sharing some additional tips on virtual internships and what to do when you don't know what to do a little bit. But this is, you continually want to be growing, you continually want to be improving and working that way. So, basic punctuality tips. Again, this is just kind of stuff I've already talked about. Try to arrive a little bit early so you can be in your spot and ready to go by the time you are expected to be starting. Do that within reason. If you are not expected to show up 10, 15, 20 minutes early, and if it's a paid internship, if you're not getting paid, get paid to do your job is basically what I'm going to say. But it is good to be a little bit early so you are prepared for when you need to start. So you're not scrambling, so you are calm, cool, and collected, whatever that means for you. If you are running late, again, let somebody know. If there are dates you can't work, let your team know. It is okay to take time off. You should be taking time off, but you need to just let somebody know. You need to communicate. And when you leave for the day, let somebody know. You never know when you are working, you're done with your work, but maybe your manager, a coworker, or somebody is going to ask you to do something later. And there's nothing more embarrassing. And in fact, there's nothing more unprofessional than them going to your office or your location or trying to contact you via Slack or Zoom or however they contact you for a virtual appointment, and you're just not there. That looks very, very bad. I do not recommend it. It does not bode well for your hireability in the future. Show you're willing to learn. Be present and focused on your work. Be there. Uh, it should take the priority over personal and school tasks. When you're at work, be at work. If there is an emergency that pops up, of course you can go take care of that emergency. But while you're in, be where you are, is basically how I'm going to phrase it. If you are in your personal time, be in your personal time. If you're in your school time, be in your schoolwork and your homework time. If you're in your internship or work time, be in your internship or work time. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Again, I'm going to keep repeating that this entire time. Asking questions is not a bad thing. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of you want to learn. Make eye contact and smile. Be social. Be personable. Treat people how you would want to be treated. All those things. If you run out of things, ask questions. I've kind of finished this project. Will you look at this project, or do you have additional projects that I can assist on? You want to be as helpful as you can. When you are communicating, we are going to dive a lot more into business communication later on in this presentation, but be polite and professional in your communications at all times. What we mean is talk to your manager or your coworkers or whoever it is as if you are talking to somebody that you greatly respect and you want their opinion. You want them to have a good opinion of you. Even if that's not how you view your manager, supervisor, or coworker, that's how you should always be treating them, even if they're not treating you the same. Don't write anything in an email that you wouldn't feel comfortable being forwarded to anyone in the company. So, everything you, if it is on company property, anything you say, anything you type, anything you write could be heard and could be used. For example, right now, I'm using a company laptop. Anything that I search, anything that I write in my emails or Slack to my coworkers, that can be uh, taken from me. This is not my laptop. This is not my property. This is company property. And so just keep that in mind. If you're being polite, professional, you're not sharing gossip, you're not searching or doing things that you shouldn't be doing with company property, no issue, no problem. So just keep that in mind. Um, Ask your boss or coworkers how they prefer to communicate. If they only want you to email, only email. Don't try to do other things. If they're like, nah, we want you to Slack us, instant message us, then that's how you do it. Do it in the method that is best for them. Make sure you get the caller's name if you're answering phones. And just again, the golden rule is treat others as you would want to be treated, and treat everyone you're talking to as if they are somebody you respect greatly and want to improve your opinion of them, whoever that might be. Some tips for virtual internships. Watch your posture. Make sure you're stretching. When you're working virtually, it is very, very tempting to kind of get in relaxed positions, which can lead to bodily fatigue, eye fatigue, body fatigue. So you want to watch that. Drink lots of water. Move around when possible. Put on pants. You never know when you're going to be on a Zoom meeting, and you need to kind of take care of that. Give me 1 second. Excuse me. So just virtual, you still want to be present, you want to be doing your job and taking care of yourself, even though you might be at home. So what do you do when you don't know what to do? These are ideas of things you can do when you are kind of done with a project that has been given to you. You can tidy the workspace. Things always need to be cleaned if you feel comfortable in doing so. Resupply inventory, get a head start on your tasks for the next week. Trust me, sometimes you're burned out, you're tired, but getting ahead of your work will always be helpful to you. So it's never a bad idea to get ahead on your work, help others with their tasks, schedule informational interviews. We'll get to this in a second. Ask questions, talk to your manager and saying, hey, I am done with this project. Do you have any other projects you need assistance on? Or can you review the project that I've been working on, the task that you've been giving me, making sure that it's up to code? And update an intern training guide. Create one if they don't have one. Help your fellow workers out on training them on how they can be the best intern that you are already being. So it's never a bad idea. Good. It's never a bad idea to ask for additional projects if you need it, but also make sure you're taking care of yourself. Don't take on too many tasks at once. Make sure you are giving your full, undivided attention to each project or task that you are given and giving it the due respect that it deserves. But once you can move on, I do recommend kind of showing your hard work attitude that you have to kind of going above and beyond. That's something that everyone puts on their resume. Everyone talks about is, oh, I'm a really hard worker. The best way to show that is not on a resume. The best way to show that is in doing these things, taking on additional tasks and doing a little bit extra as needed. If at any time in your internship or in your job, you are feeling uncomfortable, something seems wrong, somebody is speaking to you to a way that is unfair or unjust or just being creepy or all of those negative connotations, know that you have rights and resources. You are not alone to figure it out. There are definitions of workplace harassment. Uh, every company should have some form of HR. If the HR is not trustworthy, you can go to governmental agencies and report them. For USC, we are also here to help and advocate for you. You can talk to Dr. Caroline Frasinet, Director of Internship Programs. That is her email address. If you are ever uncomfortable or something seems wrong with your internship, talk to somebody about it. Bring it up. If you are uncomfortable making a report, there are a number of places you can make anonymous reports. If you are fearful that reporting will get you in trouble, that is generally illegal. So don't report. Basically, if something feels uncomfortable, tell somebody, say something. Always speak up. It makes the workplace better for everyone when you speak up. So that is when you get an internship and kind of are in the beginning stages of an internship. Now, what to do once your internship is over? Again, we are going to be doing this self-reflection. What did you learn? What would you still like to learn? What are some things you like doing? What are some things you didn't like doing? Start creating your resume bullet points again for the position. Throughout this time, you can be adapting your resume. You can be putting in daily. These are the tasks that I did. This is what I did. This is how I can relate to future internships, future jobs. So you want to reflect on your experience. You constantly want to be kind of doing things, taking action, but reflecting and processing these experiences that you're having because they are going to be the roadmaps for your future career path. Write up an internship description. Again, this is a great way to kind of process for your resume. Consider the daily tasks you did, the ongoing projects you worked on, departments you interacted with, transferable skills you use in the position, and how the things you did would lend themselves well to other kind of tangential positions. So at the end of your internship, it is a great time to kind of start creating that. So in the future, you're not trying to kind of scramble and put together, what did I do in that internship? It is fresh in your mind and you're creating it in the moment. Also, at the end of your internship, you can ask for informational interviews. You now have expanded your network. It's built into your internship. You now have managers, fellow leaders in the business, coworkers, where you can sit down and talk to them. What trends do they see? What insights, advice, resources, assignments? Ask them about how they got a start in the company. Asking questions. This at right near the end of your internship is a fantastic time to do informational interviews, to ask for informational interviews, and we're going to get to asking for references, and we'll go back a couple of slides in just a second. Near the end of your internship is a fantastic time to ask for references because they know you because you were just there. So you want to start with your boss because they can talk as a leader about your work ethic and what you are doing. You can talk to other coworkers. You can ask people. It is best to do it near the end of your internship. It is a positive. interaction, ask at the end of your internship. If it's a negative interaction, that person might not be the best person for a reference. If you ask them to be a reference and they say, no, maybe I'm not the best person, respect that, respect their time. It's okay, and kind of move on to other people. I want to back up 2 slides. So, informational interviews, how to ask if they're your boss or work directly with them, just talk to them. Have a very open discussion of, I would like to ask you a few questions, have an informational interview, um, ask those questions. If you don't know them personally, but the boss does, kind of have them be the liaison in between you and kind of try to set up that interaction. If it's somebody just in the company that you don't know, send an email, and try to warm it up the best you can, meaning you are saying, hey, I was just an intern at the company that you also work at. We're in a different department. Do you have a couple of minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, where I can buy you coffee or something like that? And we can talk about what you do, how you do it. So those are kind of the best and kind of the most direct is your bosses or coworkers. The next best is somebody that you may not personally know, but a coworker or a boss does know and can make that connection for you. And then the third in your company is kind of sending those cold emails, warming them up with how you know each other. On your last day, thank everyone, follow the protocols that the company might have of kind of uh, returning equipment and sending out of office messages, kind of finalizing things, and make sure you take all your stuff with you, of course. So after your internship, uh, check in periodically, maintain those networks that you have built. You spent time, 3, 5, however many months it was, how many ever weeks, if it's weeks, building those relationships, building those coworker and manager relationships, and you really want to maintain them. So in the future, you can reach out for informational interviews for them, or you can reach out in the future for references. So make sure you want to maintain those relationships beyond your internship. So some good ways to check in is in kind of around the new year. You're wishing them Happy New Year. February, you're sending them an article. March, you're talking about post graduation. Each month has something you can talk to them about. So maybe not monthly, based on the relationship you have with this person, you'll be the best judge of this. But I would recommend not more than once a quarter, not less than once a quarter. So probably once every 3 months at a minimum. It can be more than that. You want to be checking in, saying, hey, I really enjoyed my internship when I worked with you. Do you know if there's any other internship positions opening up? If you want to do another internship there, or setting up informational interviews. This, of course, is supposing that this is an experience that was positive and the person that you're checking in with is also positive. You do not have to check in with people if it was a negative experience. If it was something that you did not enjoy and that is not a connection you want to maintain, you are under no obligation to do so. But if you are interested in maintaining that relationship, that professional networking relationship, uh, do it. And check in, like I said, no less than once a quarter, once every 3 months, and just kind of making sure that you stay on their radar and they're on your radar, kind of reciprocal relationship like that. So we are now coming to our business communication etiquette. So we've talked about what to do in the beginning of your internship, how to maintain professionalism during your internship, and what to do after your internship. So now we're just kind of building on that with communication, just professional communication and the etiquette therein. So on the phone, general phone etiquette, you want to answer by the third ring. Smile, manners, and tone comes through on the phone. Somebody can tell if you're frowning and not really happy to talk to them, or if you're smiling and you're energetic. So you even sometimes need to kind of exaggerate that over the phone so people can hear it. You want to introduce yourself. Hello, this is blank 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 from department name if it is appropriate. You want to avoid abrupt, hasty language such as yeah, what, hello. You want to be cautious with filler words. You want to be very professional. You want to be calm necessarily. You want to be talking calm and professionally. And what I mean by professionally is, again, speak to whoever you're talking to on the phone, how you would want to be spoken to, or as if they are somebody that you care very much about their opinion and you want to reciprocate that. If you are being verbally abused on the phone, if you're in customer service, this may happen. It is always all right to transfer that person to somebody who can, a manager or supervisor, follow the policies of your company, but there is etiquette, and then there is also making sure you are defending yourself, not getting defensive, but making sure you're taking care of yourself. And that is etiquette as well. With your voicemail, keep it appropriate. This is something that I recommend now. You are now in a college setting. You are going to be going for internships and jobs. Listen to your voicemail. Listen to your personal voicemail. Does it say your name? It is really funny to have a funny voicemail for your friends, but think of how if the dream job was calling you for an interview and you missed that call, what would they hear on their phone, on your phone? So not telling you how to live your life, but I personally recommend having a professional voicemail on your personal thing. Keep it appropriate, tone, energy, and just add your name so they know who they're talking to. When leaving voicemails, talk slow, keep it short. Make sure you include your contact information so they know how to contact you back. Via text. Text only when you establish business relationship. It is not appropriate to start texts with your boss, with your coworkers, until you have that relationship and you know that is okay to do so. If your boss doesn't say, "Hey, you can just text me about it," don't do it until they tell you you can. That's just kind of a baseline recommendation with text. Is ask before you start. Limit it to business hours. Keep professional communications during the work time. It's the same for everyone else as it is the same for you. They're not getting paid after hours, so don't communicate with them about work things after work hours unless it is appropriate based on the work environment that you are in. Uh, Know when to call. Keep it a couple of sentences. Keep it short, sweet, to the point. If it's a longer block of text, that might be a more appropriate to just do a phone call, unless again, that is the preferred communication style for whoever you're communicating with. Make sure you are professional spelling punctuation. Don't abbreviate. You want to be typing full things out. Reply in a prompt manner. Sign off when you're done. Again, the baseline is talk to others how you would want to be talked to and communicate to this person as if you are communicating with the person that you care about their opinion the most in the world. And that's just a baseline. Just doing that with everyone will keep you safe, will keep it professional, and if it needs to be adapted based on the work environment you're in, the individual will tell you so, or you'll tell them. And so always err on the side of more formal than more relaxed. That's just a general rule in business communication. Always go more formal until you are told to relax it up a bit. In email, your subject line should be concise and relevant to the topic. Greeting, always greet some sort of hello, good day, addressing the person's name. Having a sign off at the end of something like thank you, something professional. You don't want to have a goofy email sign off kind of at the beginning of your internship or working career. Gauge the work environment and you can change as needed. Just like the text messages, if it is a long email and it would be easier and more clear to just call, make it so. Be careful who you are CCing or blind carbon copying or BCCing on there. Know when and when not to reply all. Be very, very careful about that. If you are replying a one-word affirmative that you received an email, that doesn't need to be a reply all. If somebody is on a email train, this is exactly what you guys know about being part of email chains or text threads. You don't want to clog it up. If you don't want to clog it up with, yeah, I received it. You can reply directly to the sender if you want to send them feedback that you received the message, and that's not a bad idea. But just be careful with reply all that it is going to everyone. And again, always make sure that whatever you're saying you would not feel uncomfortable that being said to basically anyone in the company because it could be. You click a bad reply all, that's being sent to everyone. So just cover your bases and never put anything in an email that you wouldn't want a reply all to be going to. Um, also, uh, keep in mind that email is a great paper trail. So if somebody says something to you that you don't agree with, shoot them an email about it so that you have documentation. Um, a big thing with email as well is you want to proofread, proofread, proofread. You don't want spelling mistakes. You don't want grammatical errors. Make sure you are proofreading it multiple times before you send it so that it is the best that it can be. Again, the golden rule with any sort of business communication, professional communication, is talk to others how you would want to be talked to with respect and dignity, and communicate with this person as if you care very, very much about their opinion and you want to impress them. That's that you can never go wrong with kind of that formality. And then loosen it up as you learn the company culture, the company environment, and what feedback you're given by your coworkers and boss. So, some sample email communications. So a job status follow-up sample. So you are asking, you applied to a position, you're asking, how is it going? This is an example. Hello, I'm reaching out to let you know that I'm still very interested in the teaching assistant position at Rising Stars Foundation and inquire about the status of my application. Please let me know if you need additional information from me. I look forward to hearing from you. So just kind of talking about that of being short, sweet, to the point. You're not being overly blunt, but you're making your ask in a very simple and direct manner. I'm just reaching out. I'm still very interested. Please let me know if you need additional information from me. This is an excellent job status follow-up sample email. This is also just a very good sample for if you're following up on anything. If you are communicating with a coworker on a specific task or project, you can just switch out some of this language for that. Hello, so and so. I'm reaching out to follow up on the project that we are working together on in the teacher assistant position. Please let me know if you need any help or additional information from me. I look forward to hearing from you. So this is a good kind of follow-up example. If you are not getting the job, so this is specific to uh, something not going your way. In this example, we are giving not getting a job offer. You still want to follow up and say something to the effect of, it was a pleasure to meet with you and interview for this position. Thank you for letting me know of my application status. While I regret not being able to join the team, I'm grateful for the opportunity and the interview. I look forward to remaining in contact with you. Please keep me in mind should additional opportunities become available. So you want to be courteous, you want to be kind, you don't want to be nasty and say, well, why didn't I get this interview? Why didn't I get the job? They have a million reasons on why maybe they didn't pick you. You always want to be courteous, you want to be kind, you don't want to burn that bridge because you never know when later on down the line they might, like how we have at the end, they might have additional opportunities and you want to keep that professional relationship open. So same kind of thing when a project doesn't go the way you want it to go or whatever. Be courteous, be kind, um, but do follow up. When accepting a job offer, usually it involves a phone call. Sometimes it is just kind of an email letting you know that you have been accepted as the job offer. If you have questions, ask via email or by phone. Follow up with an email. Again, email is a great paper trail to say, oh, we talked about this on the phone. I just want to confirm it. And then ask for next steps and be ready to respond in a timely manner. If they respond to you and they give you a job offer, you want to return those messages or those emails as quickly as you possibly can. It is okay to take a day or two to think over an offer, to process it, but you don't want to take more than 24 to 48 hours. Declining a job offer. Be gracious, thank them for the opportunity. Again, communicate to the organization as you would want to be talked to. If you were being declined for a job offer, how would you want them to say it to you? And do the same thing to them of, I really respect you. I'm grateful for the opportunity, but I'm deciding to go in a different position. It was fantastic talking to you. Something to that effect. So a sample of declining a job offer is thank you very much for the teaching assistant position offer at Rising Stars Foundation. I really appreciate the time that you and the team have spent in meeting me and discussing the job. I've accepted another position that is a closer fit for my professional goals, and I am unfortunately no longer available for the role of Rising Stars Foundation. Thank you again for the generous offer and the opportunity to interview at Rising Stars Foundation. I wish you the best in finding the right candidate. So something to this effect of just saying, thank you for your time. Thank you for considering me. I'm going a different direction. And that's really all you need to say. What do you do if you have multiple job offers? Well, first of all, congratulations that you have multiple options. Number one, determine timeline. Ask employers when response is needed so you can kind of juggle that timeline. Again, they're probably going to be looking for 24 to 48 hours, but follow up with them of, oh, I have a few things to consider. When do you need me to let you know by? Reach out to the first choice, say you've made an offer, ask for status. Proceed with accepting, declining as you get more information. So just kind of going for there. It is okay to have multiple job offers. You should be applying for multiple places. You should be interviewing for multiple places because until you sign a contract, until pen has met paper, you are not an employee of that company. No matter what they tell you, until you are contracted, until you have the paperwork to show that you are an employee, um, nothing's set in stone. So, uh, it's okay to interview at multiple places and just kind of if your first choice hasn't reached out yet, follow up and say, hey, I'm having other job offers. You are my number one choice. Do you have a status for me? And that can kind of push their decision one way or the other. Um, So that is kind of our presentation with uh, how to be professional in an internship, how to do good business communication. One more time, this is our Instagram. I super recommend you follow us so that you can get all of the information, all of the events that are coming up, all of the good tips that we post on there. It's a fantastic resource. I want to thank all of those of you who are watching this recording in the future, not with us live right now. Thank you for sticking with us, listening to the recording, and hopefully it was helpful to you. I'm going to be stopping the recording now and fight on.